You are not tired because life is hard. You are tired because you keep chasing things that disappear. You call it hope. You call it love. You call it ambition. You call it the next chapter. But Solomon called it something colder. He called it vapor. Not meaningless in the simple way, not useless, not stupid. Vapor. Something that appears for a moment, then escapes your hand. A face you thought would save you. A dream you thought would complete you. A success you thought would finally silence the hunger inside your chest. But the moment you touch it, it starts vanishing. That is why the book of Ecclesiastes sounds so strange. It does not flatter human life. It does not decorate pain. It does not lie to you with soft promises. Solomon looks at everything people worship: wealth, pleasure, wisdom, beauty, power, work, reputation, and says one devastating thing: it is all vapor. Not because these things do not exist, because they do not stay. You can hold money, but you cannot hold security. You can hold a body, but you cannot hold desire. You can hear applause, but you cannot force it to echo forever. You can be loved today, but you cannot command tomorrow's heart. This is the part people hate. Life does not break you only by taking things away. Sometimes life breaks you by giving you exactly what you wanted and letting you discover that it still was not enough. That was Solomon's wound. He was not speaking from failure. He was speaking from success. He had wealth. He had women. He had wisdom. He had palaces. He had music. He had servants. He had a name people feared and admired. He reached the top of the mountain and found no throne there, only wind. That is the terrifying truth of Ecclesiastes. The poor man thinks satisfaction is hidden in wealth. The lonely man thinks satisfaction is hidden in love. The ignored man thinks satisfaction is hidden in fame. The weak man thinks satisfaction is hidden in power. But Solomon had the things they were dying for, and still he said, vapor. Not because desire is always evil, but because desire is never finished. You feed it once, and it returns with a larger mouth. You get the attention, then you need consistency. You get the relationship, then you need certainty. You get the money, then you need more safety. You get the praise, then you start fearing silence. And suddenly the thing you wanted becomes the thing guarding your prison door. This is why you are restless. Not because you have no blessings, because you keep asking temporary things to give you permanent peace. And they cannot. A person cannot be your God. A career cannot be your soul. A body cannot be your eternity. A crowd cannot be your identity. But you still kneel, not with your knees, with your attention. You kneel every time you check who viewed your story. You kneel every time you refresh the message. You kneel every time you measure your worth through another person's reaction. You say you are free, but one notification can change your mood. One silence can ruin your day. One memory can drag your whole soul back into a room you promised you had left. That is not freedom. That is slavery with a glowing screen. Solomon saw this before phones, before algorithms, before social media turned comparison into a daily ritual. He saw the same hunger, the human heart reaching outward again and again, trying to grab smoke and calling the chase a life. This is why Ecclesiastes is not depressing. It is exposing. It is not telling you that life has no meaning. It is telling you that your idols cannot carry meaning. There is a difference. The world says, become more, get more, be seen more, be wanted more, win more. Ecclesiastes says, look carefully. The more you chase wind, the more your hands forget what solid ground feels like. And maybe this is why God allows some things to disappoint you. Not to destroy you, but to break the illusion that they were ever meant to save you. The heartbreak did not only reveal them, it revealed your attachment. The failure did not only expose the world, it exposed what you had worshipped. The silence did not only show their absence, it showed your dependence. This is the brutal mercy of disappointment. It shows you where you gave your soul away. And that is where wisdom begins. Not when you get what you want, but when you finally ask, why did I want it so desperately? Most people never ask that question. They simply replace one vapor with another, one face with another face, one dream with another dream, one addiction with a cleaner-looking addiction, one ambition with a more respectable cage. They call it growth, but it is only a better decorated hunger. Solomon's message is not that you should stop living. It is that you should stop worshipping what cannot stay. Enjoy what is given, but do not chain your soul to it. Love people, but do not turn them into oxygen. Work hard, but do not let achievement become your judge. Hold blessings, but hold them like vapor, with open hands. Because everything you clutch too tightly becomes a source of fear. If you cannot lose it, it owns you. If you cannot be ignored, attention owns you. If you cannot be alone, people own you. If you cannot fail, success owns you. If you cannot age, beauty owns you. If you cannot die, life itself becomes your master. And you will spend your days protecting things that were never yours permanently. This is the wisdom nobody wants. You do not become free by getting everything. You become free when everything can no longer command you. That is why Proverbs says to guard your heart, not because the heart is weak, because the heart is the gate. Whatever enters it deeply eventually rules you. So guard it from false gods with human faces. Guard it from desires dressed like destiny. Guard it from ambitions that demand your peace as payment. Guard it from the lie that says, just one more thing, and then you will rest. You will not, because the hunger is not solved by feeding it. Sometimes it is solved by seeing it. Look at the craving. Name it. This is envy. This is loneliness. This is pride. This is lust. This is fear wearing the mask of love. Do not run from it. Do not obey it. Do not build a life around it. Watch it, and you will see the secret. The desire that felt like a command was only a cloud passing through the mind. The emotion that felt eternal was only weather. The thought that said, "You cannot live without this," was lying. You have survived without many things you once thought you needed. And you will survive this too. But survival is not the deepest lesson. The deeper lesson is this: you were never meant to find your soul in things that vanish. Not in applause, not in beauty, not in romance, not in victory, not in another person's desire for you. These things may visit, but they cannot become home. So when the old hunger rises tonight, when it tells you to text them, to prove yourself, to scroll until your mind goes numb, to chase the same vapor again, do not argue, do not dramatize, do not become its servant. Just say, "I see you," and let it pass. Because the moment you stop worshiping vapor, you begin to feel the weight of what is real. Attention is real. Choice is real. Repentance is real. Silence is real. God is real. And your soul is too expensive to be spent on smoke. So live, but do not cling. Love, but do not kneel. Build, but do not worship. Receive, but do not forget. Everything under the sun passes. The face fades. The applause dies. The body weakens. The money moves. The crowd forgets. The heart changes. The grave waits. And still, wisdom remains. Fear God. Guard your heart. Hold the world with open hands. Because the man who chases vapor becomes empty. But the man who sees vapor as vapor is already beginning to wake up.